Hi guys, and welcome back to part 3 of this series on advanced schedules. This video we're going to look at how I use features within TrainController to shunt the virtual wagons within TC to adopt various collision avoidance measures to protect the physical wagons during the shunting of my Belair Yard. This video is not intended to be a how-to guide on shunting practices, just how TrainController is so powerful to assist with shunting the Belair Yard. Enough of the talk, let's get started. Where we last left off was the Barham 1 rake coming into Belair Yard number 2 from this direction and stopping now. We saw the whole locomotive go on an advanced schedule and back to the turntable. Now the next logical question is, how do we now deal with the virtual wagons within TrainController? As I explained before in the introduction, I've had to adopt a number of collision avoidance measures. The reason for that is I haven't had a hell of a lot of success with putting detection mechanisms or resistors on my wheel sets. So this is one of the things we came up with on the Fallen Rod Railway. So you'll see these virtual wagons here sitting on Belair Yard number 2. What we first of all need to do is we need to get a shunter locomotive out from this location to sit in on this track here, and I'll show you how I do this. I'll point you to direction up to these little buttons up here. This is the what I'm calling the shunt interface. So we'll just hover over that one. So that's the start schedule for the fetch shunter. So if we give that a push, you'll see the turntable will start to move and an automatic schedule will start within TrainController. Now as you can see, this schedule is now on the move, coming in from the turntable out backwards track here all the way through to the in track. And that's all via an automatic schedule. No interaction is required with the hand controller with the yard master. Okay, now the shunter has finished its schedule over here. Now, what that actually does, that is the first protection mechanism for any trains that may be coming into the yard coming from this direction, because obviously we want to start using this ladder here and start shunting the physical wagons out. As described before, this is not a video on how to shunt the physical wagons. There's obviously a myriad of ways of doing that. So I'll leave that up to the operator to work how they want to do that. So next of all, I'll point you down to these two shunt buttons. So on my layout, there's pretty well 2 phases to the shunting. So there's the initial phase where the locomotive has come in and we're at this point here where we need to shunt the wagon from the rake up into here and putting them in their various tracks. And then the next phase of the shunting is getting a train ready for departure on either this BY 4 track or BY 8 or 9 for trains heading out in this direction. So we've come in on track number 2. So this, first of all, this needs to be selected. So that tells the system what locks and entry prevention methods that are required. So what I'm going to do is just press this little shunt A button. Now you'll see an automatic schedule starts for these wagons here. So what that does, that clears the virtual wagon to go back to the virtual staging yard. So I'll quickly show you what that virtual staging yard looks like. As the virtual staging yard suggests, it's only something within TrainController to deal with our virtual wagons, so it doesn't actually exist on the layout proper. So from there you'll notice a few other little locks and bits and bobs have popped up. So we've got all these here and one here. So what that's actually going to do, that's going to prevent anything further. So once we start using this physical shunter to get rid of all these wagons, it'll actually protect the back of the train here and any other trains that are coming in through BY7 continue on. So what that lock actually does, it says a few things. So this turnout here, you can't actually select it. It's always going to route the train up. And also any wagons that might be being shunted by another shunter in from this location, you can't actually select it to go up to any of these tracks up here. So it's purely so we can just run trains up into the head shunt and dispatch them in any of these tracks here. Next logical question you're probably asking is, why have I done it that way? Now, it's a two-edged sword. I don't use detection on any of my wagons. I've found that to be quite problematic and non-fail safe. So we put this these measures in place, and touch wood, so far we haven't had any issues regarding collisions. Probably it's prudent to point out at this point in time that all shunting within the Belair Yard is all manual, so it's not actually on any schedules as such. So the next one we look at, the shunt B. Okay, what the shunt B actually does, it locks out this turnout. So if any trains that may be coming through on a through schedule through the yard via BY7, the train will stop there, but it can't go on any further, because what we're doing is we're now protecting from pretty well BY4 up to BY9. So if we've got trains going out on BY4 which head out in this direction, we need to protect that. We need to protect the front end of any wagons that might be there, because we've got schedules that come in via the turntable to this location. And also we need to protect anything in this general vicinity as we're moving trucks from here into the head shunt and then pushing them into BY9 or BY8 for anything that's going left of screen. So as you can see, that's done by various locks on all these blocks here, and also preventing entry or exit, I should say, on BY7. All those measures pretty well prevents any train into the head shunt sort of area, and sort of locks out pretty well all of this from any train that might be coming through. And also permits the movement of trucks between BY5 and 6 into 4, 8 and 9. So from here what we do end up doing, we cancel off the shunt button, which gets rid of all the locks. Now what we need to do from here, this shunter, so it can either stay out here to do more work in shunting various real trucks around the yard, or we can actually put it back to the turntable via a automatic schedule. So I'll go back to the little interface here, so it's just a matter of bringing up this button here, which is Start Schedule Park Shunter. get that going, and you can see the schedule will start. So you can see the shunter is now on the move, and the turntable will start turning as well. See the return shunt schedule is now finished. The extend accessory is now back to green, and we're parked away. So this is the end of this video. So it's only a little short one. However, I sort of thought it was a better idea to chop this one up out of the three. It was going to be a little more specific about the advanced scheduling and how that actually worked, getting rid of the virtual. If you got any comments, make sure you put them below. Any questions about the scheme that we've come up with, or any further ideas, it's be much appreciated to hear what people think of how we run it here on the Fallen Log Railway. So without further ado, that's the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Okay guys, make sure you comment below. Make sure you click that little bell icon to be advised of upcoming videos. Give it a thumbs up, share with all your mates and all that other good stuff. Make sure you go to my website, www.modellrailroadtechniques.com. Thanks for watching. See you next time.